of the Diplomatic Corps, honorable cabinet colleagues, my dear children, parents and teachers, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum, and a very good evening. It is with a mixed sense of sorrow and satisfaction that I welcome you to the Foreign Office today. Sorrow at the plight of Kashmiri children, your brothers and sisters, who are facing a tremendous amount of hardship. But satisfaction also to see that as Pakistani youth, you feel their pain, understand their plight, and are willing to speak up on their behalf. The tremendous display of empathy that we see here today is both heart-rending and heartwarming. I commend the schools, the children, and their parents for the soulful poetry, messages, and artwork. I congratulate the winners. I appreciate the moving narrations. The Foreign Office will take it upon itself to transmit your message to the highest echelons of the United Nations, human rights bodies, and world parliaments. The world must know, and the Kashmiri youth must know, that even when their voices are muzzled, they have a voice. That even when their rights are trampled, they have rights. That there are those who will stand up for their freedoms. They must know that their life is no less sacrosanct than the life of an American, a European, an Indian, or a Pakistani youth. And that they are not alone. The Pakistani youth stand with them now and forever. Friends, the Holy Quran says, whoever kills an innocent life, it is as if he has killed all of humanity. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, innocent life is being killed, trampled, and violated every day. In the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, humanity dies every day. A tragedy that took place some 73 years ago has left indelible scars on generations past, present, and future. On 27th of October 1947, Indian forces invaded the state of Jammu and Kashmir on a fraudulent accession, launching one of the longest and most brutal military occupations of modern history. India had solemnly committed to the people of occupied Jammu and Kashmir, to Pakistan, and to the world community to respect their right of self-determination. On 5th of August 2019, India again acted unlawfully, doubled down on its occupation, reinforced its military stranglehold, and put 8 million Kashmiris in an open jail. Since then, the illegally Indian occupied Jammu and Kashmir has been under the military siege and communication blockade. An iron curtain remains cast on the valley. Behind the curtain, Indian brutality is suffocating Kashmiri lives and livelihoods. The Kashmiri people are being subjected to the most inhuman oppression. Arrests, killings, detentions, false encounters, arson, and abductions are one dimension. Usurpation of political, economic, religious, and cultural rights is another. Demographic structure in the occupied territory is being changed in violation of international law and the Fourth Geneva Convention. Kashmiris have no freedom. We've all lived through a challenging lockdown under the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic and the work of the children today help us empathize with what Kashmiris are experiencing. Imagine living under virtual imprisonment for over a year. Imagine the anxiety of a parent of seeing a child go out and not being sure whether and in what condition she will return. Imagine the distress of knowing your child has been abducted by security forces, not knowing where he is, not knowing when or if he will return. Imagine the pressure of worrying how to provide for yourself and for your family when your house has been gutted. Imagine the trauma of a child seeing his parent being beaten up, gunned down in front of his own eyes. Imagine being deprived of digital connectivity in this day and age, not having access to education and not having access to health, not having access to critical information. Imagine the pain of seeing your culture, your community, your livelihood, your identity being systematically robbed through the social and demographic engineering. The Hindutva obsessed state is doing all this and more. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kashmir issue is not just a political and territorial dispute between Pakistan and India. It is not just the oldest issue on the agenda of the United Nations Security Council. It is not just a question of self-determination. It is not just about human rights and humanitarian concerns. It is not just a dangerous flashpoint in a nuclearized South Asia. Kashmir today is a litmus test of our collective humanity. It is about human values, who we are, what we stand for, and what do we hold dear. My dear children, while we are here today, tomorrow we will be gone. And you will inherit the mantle of responsibility. I leave you with only two pieces of advice. One, never cease thinking on the Kashmir question. It is worth pondering on what we can do to mobilize world community. Two, never lose hope, because the night is the darkest before dawn. I thank you.